Hello, and welcome to the Bigg Nasty podcast, America's least listened to podcast. I am Bigg Nasty. You are hopefully the listener. Glad you could join us today. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I think a lot of people could use more of in their lives, and that's social dominance. We're going to discuss in the next few episodes what you can do to be more socially dominant in the workplace, at home, at school for the younger listeners, wherever you may be. It's something that if you are more socially dominant, you're going to find out that you get a lot more of what you want in life and you'll just be happier. So the first thing that we're going to cover is hallway jukes. Now, hallway jukes are where when you and someone else are walking towards each other in the hallway and you're both on the same side of the hallway and you kind of jump out of the way and they jump out of the way, but you keep doing it back and forth at the same time. Now, that's no good. You're not LaDainian Tomlinson. You don't know how to juke. So, I'm going to teach you today how to be a better hallway juker. And the first thing is timing. You want to have good timing with this. So, if you see them and they see you and you make eye contact, keep going. Just ignore them. As long as they know who's dominant. And the best way to do that is you want to kind of jump at them a little bit so they think you're going to go, and then don't go. Now, if you kind of jump at them, punk them out a little bit, it's something we used to do in prison. Basically, you're walking down the hallway, you see someone, just jump at them. Just scare them a little bit. They'll get out of the way. And that's the most important thing to know, is that they are more scared of you than you are of them. So if you're trying to own the whole hallway, that's a good way to do it. Another way to do it is, act like you're awkward, kind of do the back and forth thing, and then right when they get up to you, basically you want to lunge at them and then stiff arm them into the wall. And what that's going to do is it's a training mechanism. A lot of the listeners out there have dogs, things like that. We all know what a dog does. You got to train it. You got to teach a dog, hey, get the fuck out of my way when you're in this hallway. And people are much the same way. A lot of behavioral scientists think that, people and dogs aren't that much different. So it's the same concept. Say, get the fuck out of my hallway and strong arm them into a locker. Now, when you do that, they're going to know if they see you in the future, that's his hallway. That's not my hallway. I lost that privilege when I was shoved into a locker or, the wall, whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as they're in contact with a solid surface, then you've basically done your job. And like I said, timing's very important. You don't want them to think, oh, I'm just going to pass this guy, no problem, whatever. And then they pass you. You have to have good timing in order to kind of juke them out of the way and get them into the locker. That's the most important thing. Another thing that, this is a global podcast. I have approximately 4 listeners on every continent. So another thing is cultural differences. And what I mean by cultural differences is everyone knows what a bubble is. You have your bubble. Some people's bubbles are smaller, some people's bubbles are bigger, but everyone's got a bubble. So basically what you want to do is know where their bubble is and violate it. Pop their bubble. That's the other thing that you should take away, is pop their bubble, because when you pop their bubble, they're not gonna come back. That's the main idea behind this. Now, in different cultures, different people have different bubbles. So, for example, in Japan, the bubbles are a little bit smaller than they are in America. The average American male's bubble is something like, I think, 2 feet. In Japan, it's a little bit smaller. They're a small country. They have to build their their skyscrapers way up high on their tiny little island because they ran out of room. They're breeding themselves out of existence. So they have smaller bubbles. It's an evolutionary trait. Likewise, in America, we have a little bit bigger bubbles. People don't like to be touched. People don't like to have other people around them because this is America and that's queer. A lot of people think that if another male gets within 4 feet of you, he might be a gay. And that's how you psych people out, is they think, oh, this guy's about to get in 4 feet of me, he might be a gay. Show him you're not. Put him into the wall. Break some drywall. Do what you have to do. It's just that simple. And it's different for every country. In France, they don't have bubbles. Actually, in France, I heard that to violate someone's bubble, you basically have to touch them with your penis or other implement. So if you're in an office in France, you and someone else are walking towards each other, you may have to date them for a while and then break up with them. And then they'll know not to get with you in the hallway anymore. It's, cultural differences is what I'm trying to emphasize. Things are different in different cultures, and different people have different ways of communicating with each other. The universal language, though, is violence. Mindless, senseless violence is a universal language. And if you hurt somebody, they won't come back. So that about covers it for Hallway Jukes. I hope that you got something out of this. I'd like to thank you for listening, and next time we're going to talk about psyching out your boss, how to get what you want in the workplace, how to get a better salary, better benefits, things like that. And it's actually a lot simpler than you think. So thanks for listening.